Ferrari are in a weird spot right now. On one side of the garage, they have their boy wonder, Leclerc, the driver they have been supporting for over a decade. But on the other side of the garage, they will now have their team principal, Vasseur's former boy wonder and driver in Junior League's Hamilton. Former Ferrari president Luca de Montezemolo has cautioned the Maranello-based team that the signing of Lewis Hamilton could become a risk, since the seven-time world champion could stomp on Charles Leclerc and cause a rift within the team. A rift we haven't seen since Rosberg and Hamilton were at Mercedes together. So, could Ferrari throw their piece away for a bit of success? And will they really abandon their long-term project with Leclerc for some quick success? Hamilton's bombshell move to Ferrari for the 2025 Formula One season sees him joining the Italian team after Ferrari finished second in the 2024 Constructors' standings, following a title battle with longtime rival McLaren. Ferrari is in a strong position heading into next season, with the team now understanding how to develop a car that can compete consistently under the current regulations. In Montezemolo's opinion, Hamilton will arrive at Maranello with the assumption that he will be given a car capable of winning titles, whereas Charles Leclerc has yet to properly make his imprint at Ferrari by winning a title. In these years, Ferrari's problem has not been linked to the drivers. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc are strong, Montezemolo said. Hamilton is a phenomenon like Verstappen. His arrival in Ferrari is not a marketing operation. He wants to end his career by winning in red. The choice of Lewis Hamilton on one hand is a risk, because you take a champion who has won a lot and who comes to Ferrari to win. And on the other hand, there is a Leclerc who, despite having good races, has never won, and the years go by. It will be a very interesting year for Ferrari, provided that they manage to bridge the gap with McLaren to start already competitive from the first race. They make a car capable of winning in all conditions, and there is also clarity of management within the team. However, Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur believes the team will thrive from a title struggle between Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, rather than suffer. Hamilton will join Charles Leclerc, a promising graduate of the Ferrari Driver Academy who has been racing with the team since 2019 in the hopes of restoring title glory to the legendary Italian team. However, as Hamilton pursues his record 8th World Championship and Leclerc seeks to demonstrate that he is the driver who can return Ferrari to the F1 pinnacle, does team manager Fred Vasseur dread an impending headache if he has to manage a title war between his Ferrari drivers? It turns out, not at all. Instead, he believes such a circumstance would favour Ferrari by improving performance. When asked if Hamilton versus Leclerc for the 2025 title would be a happy headache, Vasseur replied, "Yeah, I prefer to fight for 1 or 2 than for 19, 20. This is clear. And I think it's also part of the performance, clearly. The last 2 years I let them race on track, and it was for the benefit of the team, because the emulation that we created like this was part of the recovery when we had tough times. And they had huge respect between them, and we had a good moment this morning with the father of Carlos, Farewell Fiorano track day, and it was very nice. It's part of the performance of the team. It is safe to assume that Ferrari represents a significant cultural shift for Hamilton, and as he endorsed his upcoming Ferrari driver, Frederic Vasseur disregarded Lewis Hamilton's own assertion of not being fast anymore. Hamilton said, "I'm just slow, same every weekend, and I'm definitely not fast anymore," after qualifying 7th for the sprint race in Qatar, nearly 4 tenths slower than teammate George Russell. The 104th time F1 pole sitter has struggled in qualifying in the ground effects era, taking only 1 pole position at the 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix, and has been comprehensively outperformed by Russell in teammate head-to-heads, losing 5-19 in Grand Prix sessions and rising to 24-6 once sprints are included. Hamilton's new teammate will be Charles Leclerc, who is considered as one of, if not the fastest driver on a single lap, but Vasseur believes Hamilton still has underlying speed. Ask that question to George Russell on Sunday in Abu Dhabi. Vasseur said, referring to his now former Mercedes teammate's last lap move for 4th place when confronted with Hamilton's "I'm not fast anymore" comment. "It is on Sunday that you are scoring points first, and I am not worried at all about this." He has had tough moments in quali, but the quality of Abu Dhabi was linked to the performance of Lewis. He had very good races in Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi, and I was never worried about the situation. I don't want to blame Lewis or Mercedes, but this situation is not easy to manage, and if it is not going well, the relationship can suffer. It was not very well in his mind. He was clear about this in Brazil, but he did very well in the last couple of events, so I am not worried. Hamilton is anticipated to go on the track for the first time in a Ferrari in January, driving a 2023 car that has been tested previously. Vasseur highlighted how Ferrari will react to welcoming Hamilton, emphasizing the importance of simulators. "For sure, we know that we'll have a lot of procedures to assimilate during these couple of days, but I think he is experienced enough to do this, and we will have the advantage of the simulators," he said. He will be able to do a race simulation, a quali simulation, and be fully prepared with the steering wheel and all the particularities of the car. But honestly, I am not worried about it. It is not the biggest challenge. Some think the move is purely marketing and a way for Ferrari to gain even more fame around the world. But according to Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur, Lewis Hamilton's move to Maranello was more than simply pure performance or a marketing stunt. Vasseur explained that Ferrari will benefit from much more than Hamilton's outright pace next season, given his 7 Drivers' Championship championships and 105 race triumphs. Vasseur, who worked with Hamilton as a GP2 driver, noted that his move to Ferrari will bring more than just his speed, but also his experience in a winning team, as well as information, which he aims to add to Ferrari's armory next season. As far as Lewis is concerned, it's not just a matter of speed, of pure performance, Vasseur said. It will bring the experience of a 7-time champion who has worked in top teams. It's very good for a team to have someone who brings different experiences, especially if they're at the level of Lewis. We need to have the right approach and take advantage of his experiences. It's always important to try and learn from outsiders, whether it's Hamilton or someone else. I know Hamilton very well. I know his motives, his way of working. I don't want to make comparisons with other drivers, but I'm convinced that it will fit perfectly into our system. Neutrals will be looking at Hamilton and Charles Leclerc as one of the most anticipated teammate rivalries of the 2025 season, especially if both Ferrari drivers end up competing for the title. Vasseur, on the other hand, will not let the increased media attention of the sport's most successful team signing its most statistically successful driver distract them from their core goal. Yes, there will be a lot of focus around us, but that should not distract us from our sole goal, which is to win, said the coach. We are not concerned about having more pressure than there is today, and, for my part, I am constantly under scrutiny and trying to improve myself. I'm never happy. I put myself under pressure. Even in the minor categories, you take on big responsibilities, since the quality of a choice can mean death or the fortunes of the team. Because it is only the results obtained on Sunday that make a difference in terms of survival, not only from the sporting point of view, as far as the maintenance of staff jobs. We live under constant pressure, and I have always had a lot of pressure in the last 35 years. As time goes by, I am less emotional, and this helps me to manage situations better. However, it remains to be seen if he will be able to keep the peace in the team. After all, Leclerc wasn't looking too happy in the last races when meeting Hamilton. He'll surely think about Sainz a couple of times next year. But what do you think? Are Ferrari going to enjoy this driver lineup, or will it turn out to become a disaster? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.